Spring break is not even here yet, and we've come to the final home game of the season for the Bella Vista women's lacrosse team. The Broncos, a bit later on this afternoon, host Roseville to close out their home schedule. But before the game is played, the 8 seniors on the team will be honored tonight as senior night at Bella Vista High School. More in a bit about the graduating seniors, but once the festivities are completed, right around 5:30 this evening, there's this little game that's going to be played. Every game is critical for BV as they have 3 left, all in league. They did suffer their first loss of the season at Vista del Lago last night, 16-7. That puts both teams on a path to finishing league play with just 1 loss and in a tie for first place. We'll leave it to the tie-breaking system to figure out who gets that spot should that happen. But the Broncos also have to keep their eye on third place Wood Creek, who still has a chance at the second spot. However, if the Broncos win, they won't have that chance anymore. The Broncos will clinch at least a second place finish tonight with a win and will clinch a playoff spot. Key for Bella Vista is to win its 3 remaining games, starting tonight with Roseville, and that's coming your way right here on Senior Night here on BV Live Sports. Hello, everybody. George Tharlson, Aaron Keogh. Welcome to Bella Vista Lacrosse here on BV Live Sports. The final game of the season. How did that happen?
It just snuck up on us. It's crazy, isn't it?
And it is. We've gotten to we've come to the end of the road, so to speak, and that's for the home schedule. Obviously, there's spring break next week. Then there is the final 2 regular season games, and then playoffs. And both the boys and the girls are going to be in the playoffs this year. It's what it looks like. Boys clinched last night. Girls could clinch tonight. It's just been a fun season.
Yeah, I mean, and what a just great thing for Bella Vista High School, both on the boys and the girls side, with lacrosse this year, to have both programs be so successful, both teams qualify for the playoffs, and really the sky's the limit. So excited to celebrate seniors tonight and to celebrate a team at home, and hopefully see a good bounce back from last night. As you mentioned, they had the loss last night.
And it was a rough one. I know you were there, and give us some of your observations.
Well, it's I think anytime we talked about this before we went on the air, anytime that you are undefeated, it is difficult to stay undefeated. It just is. And so I think that was a challenge. There just was a lack of crispness and discipline until about the fourth quarter, and when there was about a 10-point spread, and it was almost like light bulbs started going on, like, oh, my goodness, we got to get into this. And they really went on a tear. And had they played the way they played the final, let's just call it 10 minutes of the game, we might have had a much closer game. The JV won 12-11. So, the competitive nature was there. It just was missing for 3 quarters.
A lot needs to be said, though, about the team on the other side, the team that was wearing white last night.
Yes.
The team that got beat 11-10 here a couple of weeks ago.
Correct.
That probably felt like they had something that they needed to prove.
Yeah, and what I saw from Vista del Lago last night was almost like they were reading out of the Bella Vista playbook. We noticed when they played here, we had made comments that it seemed like anywhere Vista had the ball, there were multiple Bronco defenders on that player anywhere the ball went. And last night was the same, just the other way around. So Vista definitely did their homework, and we're ready to go last night.
Well, we are just moments away from senior night starting here at Bella Vista. We're going to be bringing you all of that as 8 seniors for Bella Vista. Plus, we're going to recognize the 15 seniors on the Roseville roster as well. We don't know a lot about Roseville, but we will certainly talk about what we do know. And what we do know is that the program has been kind of bouncing back after being on a hiatus after the 2018 season until 2022. And we'll discuss more about that a little bit later on, but we want to make sure that we are ready to go, and we're going to go ahead and get senior night underway. We're going to go ahead and toss it over to our public address announcer, Chris Silvers. Okay. All right, so penalize me 5 yards for a false start. So we have the Broncos heading over to their bench, and again, we're going to be recognizing. My count is 8 seniors. Isabella Hartman, Paige Martin, Olivia Silva, Kate Hooper, Marilyn Morgan, Paige Hackman, Maddie Bunsey, and Elsie Ballard. You can tell me if I'm missing anybody.
I don't think you're missing any. I I don't know if Maddie's a senior.
I've got her
She's-
showing as a senior. She's not. Okay.
All right, at this time, if we could have the Broncos senior parents please go to the snack bar.
So that is the cue for the Bronco parents to go to the snack bar. I probably had that wrong. So as far as Maddie.
Well, what
I'm
was
just-
throwing me off is she's a twin, and I was thinking, well, wait a minute, Jilly's not. But this is the challenge, though, when you're dealing with max preps
and you know my roster has not been accurate all the time either.
no, it's all
So-
good. But it's anytime you're doing this, no matter how big or small. We went through this together during football season, and you recognize cheerleading and the band and color guard and football. And there were 50-something kids, and it doesn't matter how many. If there's a lot or a little, the process is still the same, orchestrating it all together. So it looks like they're almost ready, but.
Maddie is a junior, so pardon me as I reach down and just correct my roster. So 7 seniors being honored tonight for Bella Vista. So we are just waiting for everybody to get their cue. You see the Bella Vista Bronco, I believe that's the underclassmen that are there right now.
And JV out on the field.
And JV is out on the field. Of course, they don't play tonight. There's no JV game. So we are just awaiting the final cue to get everything going. And then we will have senior night getting underway here at Bella Vista High School. So apologies for that mix-up on the roster, but now we do have it.
Again, if we can have Bronco senior parents, if you're going with your child.
So they're just right now calling on the parents to head over to the snack bar area. As if you've seen senior night before, you know that regardless of the sport, when it's done here at the stadium, they start from where the snack bar is, which is off to our left and on the north side of the field. And then they come in, and then they come up to what is the 50-yard line of the football field. So that is what we are awaiting right now. We know that there is a lot of excitement and anticipation. Again, 7 seniors for Bella Vista, 15 seniors for Roseville, and
Well, it should be mentioned, too, with this group of seniors. 2 years ago, and I don't have the record in front of me, but 2 years ago, this Bella Vista team was 4 and something, right? And then last year had 11 wins, and now this year, we're undefeated until last night, and they're lost to a very talented Vista team. It's not like they lost to a nobody. So this has been an experience for them.
a win tonight also secures an undefeated season at home. When was the last time that happened?
Well, and like you mentioned earlier, a playoff berth.
Yes.
We haven't played in the playoffs, so we'd have to check that. Certainly not in the recent past have they been in the playoffs. So lots of really positive and exciting things for this group of seniors, and I want to give them their due.
Well, the one thing about starting the senior night activities or scheduling to start at 4:45 with the game starting at 5:30 is you built in some time for the inevitable delays that come with putting on a special
Correct.
event. And that's not to be criticizing everyone. It sounds like we may be ready to go.
Yeah.
So let's toss it again over to Chris Silvers and let's get ready to go for senior night.
Good afternoon and welcome to Senior Night 2025. Tonight we celebrate the ladies that have meant so much for so long. Let's kick things off by recognizing the visiting Tigers. They come to us tonight with a whopping 15 seniors. Please give it up for number 2, Kylie Bertram. Number 4, Megan Newton. Number 5, Maggie Donnell. 6, Alina Faraz. Number 7, Abby Cesano. Number 9, Addison Espley. 10, Lauren Ashe. Number 13, Gabby Carlin. 14, Kalina Agatep Contreras. Number 17, Macy Clifford. Number 18, Emma Heinrich. 20, Emerson Gutierrez. Number 24, Montana Speckman. Number 27, Sophia Tikauer. And number 33, Mackenzie Clements. Now let's get loud for our own Bella Vista Broncos. Leading the herd tonight is number 4 midfielder Izzy Hardman. Izzy is accompanied by her mom, her aunt, uncle, cousin, and grandma. Izzy is a dynamic midfielder, rounding out her high school sports career with her first year of lacrosse. She plans to attend American River College and play soccer next year while majoring in kinesiology. Her favorite lacrosse memory is beating Vista del Lago at home and celebrating with her teammates. Next up, we have number 13, midi, Kate Hooper. Kate is walking with her mom and her dad. And you guys can go. Kate is a 2-year varsity midfielder that always comes in clutch. She plans to attend a 4-year university next year to study business administration with a focus in accounting. She just needs a little help deciding which one. Kate's favorite lacrosse memory is having fun with the team on away game buses. And now we have number 9, attack, Olivia Silva. Liv is joined by her mom, dad, and her brothers. She's a 2-year varsity attacker who is speedy and skilled and absolutely key on the redefend. Liv plans to attend college to become a radiology tech. Her favorite lacrosse memory is the bus ride to Northgate and exploring Northgate before our game. Let's hear it for number 28, attack, PRH, Presley Rocker Hooper. She is proudly escorted by her mom, her brother London, and her half-sister Aurora. Presley is a 3-year varsity attack with a vicious shot and a wicked crease roll. She plans to attend Sierra College next year. Her favorite lacrosse memory is all the fun bus rides. Next up, we have number 15, attack, Marilyn Morgan. Marilyn's walking with her mom, dad, and her little sister. She's a 3-year varsity attacker that is always a positive teammate and supports everyone. Marilyn plans to attend a community college next year to get her pre-dental certificate and go on to become a dentist. Her favorite lacrosse memory was the away game at Northgate, where the vibes were so good, and even though there were some hiccups, their plays did so well. Put your hands together for number 6, defender, Captain Paige Martin. Paige is joined by her dad, mom, and sister. Paige is a 3-year varsity defender who's always tasked with guarding the other team's best player. She plans to attend college next year to become an ultrasound technician. Her favorite lacrosse memory is a throwback to last season, playing in Napa and being the only defender left on the field and still winning. And now, our amazing keeper, number 28, goalie, L.C. Ballard. L.C. is accompanied by her mom, dad, and Padre Gilbert. She's a 4-year varsity goalie who's been a team-first goalie and has prepped the future goalies to come. L.C. plans to attend Folsom Lake College next year and play with the 2-time state champion women's soccer team and study kinesiology. Elsie's favorite lacrosse memory is saving 6 out of the 7 shots in the 4th quarter against Vista to help cement our 11-10 win. And finally, number 16, Midi Captain Paige Hackman. Paige is escorted by her mom, dad, brother, grandparents from both sides, and her boyfriend Kale. She's a 4-year varsity midfielder that has been a cornerstone of this program for the last 4 years. Her skills will draw on the draw, and her leadership will be greatly missed. Paige plans to attend Pacific Lutheran University next year to major in nursing and play lacrosse. Her favorite lacrosse memory is being the only person to score against Davis 2 years in a row. Ladies and gentlemen, please give all the seniors and all their supportive families a warm round of applause. Congratulations, ladies. Good luck in college, and come back and visit us next year when you can. We'll be back with the lineups in a few minutes. In the meantime, Kiki's is open. Get yourself a snack.
And there you have it. If you can make it out here, yes, Kiki's is here, and you don't want to miss out on that.
No, you don't want to miss Kiki's. That's right.
That's some good stuff that they got.
No, it is. Yeah.
So good for the plug there, and thank you to them and all the sponsors that support Bella Vista Athletics here. So it actually turns out it was 8 seniors.
You were right. Yeah,
I had the number right. I just didn't have the personnel completely.
That's
accurate.
8 was the right number, though. That's great. No.
So what is it? 90% is still passing.
Hey, that's an A. Yeah,
like that.
that's right.
Anyway. But yeah, special moment for those, and in fact, they're gathered at the middle of the field right now. The seniors getting a group picture taken, and then pretty soon it's going to be game time. Roseville is beginning their warm-ups right now, as we take a look at the graduating seniors that are going to play a game here tonight. They hope to maybe play a playoff game here.
Yeah.
With or without us.
One way or the other, right? That's right.
They will play the boys versus girls game here. And then when they walk across the graduation stage, that'll be here as well.
That'll be here as well. That's right.
Traditionally a Thursday morning in late
Thursday
May or
morning.
early June.
Yep, June 8th, I think, 8 a.m.
So that is all the plans for these seniors. And now there they are with their families. Everybody's there along with the families and their kids, and so right now they're just taking the extra moments to soak in the memories and everything like that. And then pretty soon it's the game face and getting down to business, which is beating Roseville tonight.
Yeah, I mean, and one of the benefits of it being senior night, there's a great crowd that's already here for the senior festivities. Plus, you have the JV team all here. Because they don't have a game, like Roseville doesn't have a JV team. So you have a lot of extra fans in the stands, and, we'll call them fans. I know at Augusta you're not allowed to call them fans, I learned. You have to call them patrons because they don't want – fan is for short for fanatical, and they don't want their folks to be fanatical. They're patrons.
But we do.
We do. We want fans.
We
That's
want
right.
fans. We want people to be fanatical.
Augusta can keep their patrons. We want fans here.
That's Augusta's thing.
Yeah.
All that hoity-toity stuff.
Exactly. We're not hoity-toity here. We're about lacrosse. But it's great because traditionally, I mean, lacrosse doesn't pull a huge following, but with both the boys and the girls this year having such success, it really has generated a lot of buzz about both these programs. So that's great.
And it would really be nice to see that build.
Yes.
And see that build. And as the programs here at Bella Vista grow, to see more people in the stands, I'll get back to what I have been saying all along is play games on Friday night.
Yeah.
I think you're more likely to get the band here. You're going to get more fans here. I think that people really just love to come out to the games when they know that they don't have to get up early the next day. So.
Yeah, and there's something to be said. I mean, if you go to any college across the United States, I mean, there's a student section for basketball. There's a student section for volleyball and softball and baseball and lacrosse. It would be awesome if here next year even, right, there was a student section for girls and boys lacrosse that showed up like they do for football.
On the Rowdy Rooters.
That's right. We need the Rowdy Rooters out here.
Rowdy Rooters, they're there for football. They're there for basketball.
That's right.
It's time for the Rowdy Rooters to add lacrosse to the repertoire, if you will.
Well, and your time commitment isn't what it is for especially for football. It's an all-evening affair. Here, 90 minutes to 2 hours, and you're in and out and done. So, that would be great. And I think it's especially nice tonight after having a defeat. No matter who you get beat by, it is hard to bounce back the very next game. In fact, I was looking last night. When Bella Vista beat Vista here a month ago, 11-10, that was the start of a 3-game losing streak for the Eagles until they could get back on track. So definitely don't want that to happen to the Broncos. Want them back in the W column tonight.
And as far as Vista goes, those 3 games, only Bella Vista was a league game.
Correct.
So the 2 teams are on a collision course for that top spot. And then we'll see how the tiebreaker shakes out, or if one of them stumbles along the way and makes it easier to figure out. Hopefully that would be the other
awesome.
Vista.
Yes, we would like that Vista of the Lake, right? Or is that
View of the Lake?
View of the Lake. Yeah, we'd like the View of the Lake to be that.
Like the beautiful view, to have that beautiful view from first place.
That's right. And it all matters for the seeding. For lacrosse, there isn't a state title for girls lacrosse. They do that by sections. There's 10 sections in California. The Sac Joaquin section's what we're in. They take the top. They're going to have 8 teams in it, not the top 8 necessarily. They qualify by the leagues, and so obviously, if you can be a 3 seed over a 4 seed, that's helpful.
So just want to give you a reminder on the background. Some of you maybe, as you're tuned in, have it in the back of your mind thinking, hey, don't they usually play these games later? But when the schedules were released at the start of the season, this game was scheduled to begin at 5:15.
Correct.
Followed by a boys' game against Bear River. And both of those games were supposed to be senior night. It was supposed to be a joint senior night between the boys and the girls. Well, unfortunately, and I'm not sure all the reasons why, but the boys' game was canceled. So the boys are not playing tonight. And I guess they didn't reschedule because the girls would have had the opportunity then to possibly, if they wanted to, schedule this one back for later in the evening. But I guess that just didn't happen. So. And it could just be that everybody had their plans made and you didn't want to mess that up. So,
one nice thing is with the game being over a little bit earlier this evening, for families, especially for those seniors, if they want to go out to eat, or if they want to go over and get some kikis and eat in the parking lot, they can do that and they have the time rather than the game being over. Like last night, it was 9 p.m. So
and there are family members here. I met Kate Hooper's grandmother. I reacquainted myself because I had met Grandma Deb before, Grandma Deb Hackman, during basketball season, and she was there, and Paige's grandfather is also here, and he wasn't here when I met Grandma Deb for basketball. So,
and Grandma Deb is a huge supporter of BB Live Sports too, so that's always good.
Yes, and in fact there have been basketball shots that were launched and made from her front lawn in Texas. So
which is awesome.
We'll see if that happens tonight.
Yes,
with lacrosse, we'll
That's
see if that happens. But it is great to see the families here. And I know that next year there's going to be a contingent from Ohio that is here to see Sadie in her last game. And was talking to our camera operator, Marlo Mosier. She's going to have a senior on the team next year. So, and she's like, boy, is that next year? It's hard.
Well, it's hard to believe how quickly these kids grow up. I mean,
Indeed.
was talking to my boss at work today, and we were talking about our oldest son, Max, who's the football player, and she said, so he's a junior, right? And I said, no, he's a senior. He's graduating. She said, oh, my goodness, I can't believe that. And I said, well, and our daughter will be a senior next year. We get hit with a 1-2 punch. So it's fun, though. It's fun to celebrate. It's fun to see these kids grow up, these student athletes compete and perform, and it's really fun to be able to support them.
And we went through it last year as well.
Yes, you did.
With the boys lacrosse team. So it is really hard it's really, you just look back and it's like, where did all the time go?
Yeah.
As I was talking with Kate Hooper's grandmother and her mother, and I've known her mother. Her mother was my son's kindergarten teacher.
Sure.
The year before she was her daughter Kate's kindergarten teacher. So, and when Kate was in 3rd grade, I coached a basketball team that she was on. And so that was we were kind of even reminiscing a little bit about that.
The connections,
as well, all of those connections. So we still have quite a bit of time here before we get started. The clock is showing 24 minutes, so we gotta sit here and yak for
20 minutes
for all kinds of stuff. So we can go through all the notes that we have. And one of the things to be watching out for tonight. Julia Thomas at 56 goals on the season is too shy of the 58 that she set last year. And so with her second goal tonight, she will equal her last year output.
Yep.
If Regan Silvers has an amazing game and scores 10 goals tonight, she'll match the 59 that she had in her freshman year.
It's probably more likely of Julia getting to that mark than Regan tonight, but never say never. 10 goals. I don't think we've done a game with 10 goals with one player. I don't know.
I've seen 8. I think okay. Julia had 8 in a game,
which is incredible.
Last year.
I mean, that's. I mean, you know, and what was so strange to me, just going back to last night a little bit, was the leading scores for the Broncos, and we've highlighted them. Regan Silvers, Julia Thomas, really held in check until the second half, and Julia really till the fourth quarter, and that was just very uncharacteristic. And the production. Now, when we saw a month ago when they played, they're in 150 something seconds, and Regan had a hat trick. It was almost like she said, "Okay, we're getting after it now." But it's when you rely on a lot of goals there, and those goals don't come, that's hard. And so. And they just couldn't get anything else going. So hopefully tonight they bounce back. It'd be great to see Julia get those 2 goals. Be great to see her get 3 since this is the last home broadcast and have surpassed that mark while we're here and have you be able to call that. And heck, it'd be great if Regan could get 10 or 11 too. That'd be great. Have a high-scoring affair.
That would be a lot of fun. But I think that certainly with this and then 2 other games left, with what Regan's doing, I mean, if she averages just over 3 goals per game, which is very normal.
Yeah, very normal. Yeah,
she will hit the 59, maybe the 60 mark.
Yep.
Before the season ends. So, and then, she's a senior next year.
Right.
So
sky's the limit.
The sky is definitely the limit, and so we will see what happens. Julia's a junior next year, so that's a couple of things to watch for. Regan with 126 career goals so far. So for tonight gets her to an even 130. I've been kind of eyeballing those 10-goal increments, and Julia 114 in 2 seasons.
Yeah, only a sophomore.
We'll see where she is at the end of this season, but hopefully number 200 comes next year at home.
That would be great.
Number 200 may very well come next year.
It could, at the rate she's going.
Yes, indeed. I talked to Julia actually a little bit. Happened to see her walking by while I was down on the concourse, and I did ask her about last night and how she was feeling, and she was saying, "Well, it's kind of sad, but
sure.
But you know what? That's done. We're going to bounce back tonight."
Yeah.
And so she's ready to go. It's already. The term you use, and this is what I said after the boys lost to Christian Brothers on Monday, was, okay, this is now done. You flush it and you move on.
You have to. Well, and it's hard. We're getting late in the season. This is not as though they played Vista, the first week of the season and then played them a couple weeks later. The longer any season goes, when you're finding success, and you're finding success the way that the Broncos have been, where you're winning by double digits almost every game, it's naturally hard. I mean, these are not professional athletes. These are high school girls. It is hard to stay motivated. At practice, it's hard to stay focused. It just is.
And also add on top of that, the difference in the schedule this year.
Yeah.
It's a more compact schedule, 18 games in less of a period of time than what we had last year.
Yeah, and those are all factors. And to be fair, I'm not just calling out high school girls. High school boys have this problem,
yes.
Right? As you get further into the season, it's just natural that things start to slow down. It starts to get harder to be focused. Now, if the games are closer, there's, then that's something that makes you a little more focused. So in a lot of ways, that loss, not that I want to say that's a great thing, but the loss is actually very motivating because now you have a couple of weeks. So you play tonight, you have a couple of weeks, you play 2 more games, you have a couple of weeks, you have playoffs. That kind of helps you stay motivated and focused.
Give you a quick update on the boys. After the loss to Christian Brothers on Monday, they went down to St. Mary's in Stockton, and having defeated St. Mary's earlier in the season 17-1. Yesterday was a lot closer, but it was still a Bella Vista win. 12-10 was the final score, and with that, Bella Vista has clinched at least second place in the Capital Valley Conference. It'd be kind of tough for them to get the first place mark, but that second place finish secures the playoff spot.
Which is what matters.
And that is what matters. So the Bella Vista boys are going to the playoffs. A win by the girls team tonight secures second place at the very worst.
Correct.
And so that will secure a playoff spot for the girls tonight as well. So, so that is the exciting stuff to think about as well. And the things that are on the line. We talk about senior night. Well, senior night is now over. Everybody's been honored. They had half the girls in the black jerseys just for a contrast during the senior night and for pictures. But now everybody's donned the white jerseys at home, and everybody is ready to go. And what that means is the focus is now on playing the game.
Yeah, it has to be. I mean, the pomp and circumstance, if you will, of senior night is great, but now, I mean, you can tell we've got the practice bibs on and things out there, and it looks much more like a typical lacrosse game. And you're right, you have to get focused and ready to play. And although traditionally, when you have senior night, all your seniors start the game, and all the seniors, get a significant amount of playing time. With this group of seniors on this team, that isn't really a change from the norm. Pretty much this is the group that plays all the time anyway. So I think you're going to see Bella Vista come out and try to make a statement early. I think they're going to try to score early and often and really bounce back in a big way.
And when we are going through the game and certain names come up, we will remind you of what we learned during the senior night announcements as to what the future plans are for the Lady Broncos. Elsie Ballard, she's an outstanding goalie in lacrosse. She's also an outstanding goalie in soccer.
Yeah.
And she is going to be headed to Folsom Lake College, and they've got a pretty good soccer team up there.
Yeah, they're very good.
Defending state
champions. Yeah.
And so she is going to go play soccer for the for Folsom Lake College and also study kinesiology. We got some ambitious players on this team as we learn what they're going to be doing.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose that if they weren't, having real ambitious goals, you wouldn't announce that. But I'm just so impressed with their academic studies and what they're planning on doing. When you consider there's 8 seniors we recognize tonight for Bella Vista, 2 of them are playing athletics at the next level, so 25% of your seniors. And some of these majors are just really, really impressive things.
Yeah, and who knows who else might actually find their way on an athletic team once they get to school.
You never know, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and I just think that's really, really great, and that's a testament to the great, academic program here at Bella Vista High School, and to the just the focus that they place on that. Bella Vista's known for having good academics here in the area, and that continues to shine through with what most of these young women are doing at the next level next year in college. So
we learned during the basketball season that Paige Hackman had accepted an offer to go play lacrosse at Pacific Lutheran University, just outside of Tacoma, Washington, and she is going to study nursing. Mm-hmm. So, Aaron, as we get older and things start breaking down, who knows? Paige may be doing the work on us. So.
Well, and I would feel comfortable because you get to see how hard she works on the lacrosse field, and you saw how hard she works on the basketball court, and so you would assume. I mean, you don't have to assume. That's the kind of work that she puts into her academics as well. So she'll be a terrific nurse, and
maybe she'll use a lacrosse stick to help me get my back in order. Or
That's
something
right.
Like that.
That's right.
She'll come up with a way to figure that out.
Yeah,
through
put it in there. That's
studies. Right. Medical use of a lacrosse stick. So. Wouldn't surprise me.
No,
I would
at
fully
all.
sign the release to let her do that.
Sure,
so.
Why not? Why not?
Absolutely. So just eyeballing some of the other notes here. Right now, we would expect that both Vista Del Lago and Bella Vista would win their remaining games.
Correct.
Which would have them tied for first place. One of those teams will be seeded number 1 out of the CVC, and the other would be seeded number 2. Tie-breaking system, obviously head-to-head is a wash.
Right.
Then you go, I think goal differential is one of the stats. I don't know if you look at common opponents outside league or any of that crazy stuff that the NFL does.
Yeah, sure.
Or maybe you would look at point differential in the games, in the head-to-head point differential, which now after last night, that would belong to Vista Del Lago.
Yeah.
And in fact, I was counting the overall in-league goal differential, and that belongs to Vista Del Lago as well. So it's likely if the two teams wind up tied, certainly they would share the league championship, but Vista Del Lago is likely to get the top seed out of the league. Bella Vista is still a playoff spot. So
yeah. And then we'll just have to see where they shake out, as far as this area for lacrosse. Oak Ridge High School would have the number 1 girls program in this area. Del Oro High School is probably number 2, and then probably this toss-up between Vista Del Lago and Bella Vista at 3 and 4. There's certainly some other schools in there that are very talented, but I would say that's probably how things would shake out from a seeding standpoint. But we'll have to wait and see on that.
Don't forget, you can join us on Facebook, facebook.com/BVLiveSports. You can scan the QR code that is on your screen right now. And we have been talking about it over the course of our broadcast. We are not certain. In fact, we're probably most likely not going to be able to bring you any live streams during the playoffs, even if the games are here at home. We still need to verify that. We will keep you updated on scores and everything like that on the Facebook page for BV Live Sports, and do our very best to make sure that you're updated if you cannot get out to the games. Road games very likely to be on NFHS.
Yep.
So we'll keep you posted, and we'll try to get things figured out as best as we can.
Yeah, so right now the home games in the first round and the semifinal round, the home team would be the higher seed. They would be able to host, and then the championship is at an off-site neutral location. But again, like you said, we don't know what the rules are with all of that. We'll have to find out.
I know that NFHS has rights to football and basketball and some of the other sports. We just have to double check. I would imagine that lacrosse is among those that they have the rights to. So.
Yeah, and I know that for the state wrestling tournament in California, there's a service, Flow Wrestling, that does a lot of the big high school tournaments throughout the nation, but in California as well. But when you get to the state tournament, it's NHFS that has the rights to that, and so Flow can show a replay of the match, but they can't actually show them live. That's on NHFS you have to use.
So we will keep you posted on all of that and get everything figured out. We want to make sure that you know where you can find it if it is available.
Correct.
So and if we are not on, we want to be as transparent as possible and let you know why we are not on. It's not that we don't want to do it.
Sure, we'd love to be here doing it. We'd love to be here.
The plan would be if we could be here for the playoffs, we would definitely be here for the playoffs. Well, we're getting down to the 10-minute mark, and that would be our normal start time.
That's
for
right,
the broadcast. Yeah. But again, we've talked a lot about the things that have been going on already. It is senior night here at Bella Vista. We have honored the 8 seniors. The 8 seniors being Isabella Hartman, Paige Martin, Olivia Silva, Kate Hooper, Marilyn Morgan, Paige Hackman, Presley Rocker Hooper, and Elsie Ballard. So those are the 8 seniors for Bella Vista, and nearly 2 times as many seniors for Roseville. And it's interesting, we were talking about Roseville. They have had a lacrosse program for some time. After the 2018 season, the team went on a bit of a hiatus. They came back in 2022, and so 2022, 3, 4, and now 5. So the seniors here were probably part of that as freshmen when they brought the program back in 2022. 1-win seasons in 2022 and 23, 4 wins last year. They've already got 6 this year. That shows that they are gradually moving in the right direction. They don't have a JV program because, and the reason a team would not have a JV program is they just don't have enough people turning out for the sport. So everybody goes to varsity first.
Right.
And if you had that feeder, that JV program to kind of prep people for that next level, that kind of helps get you ready and helps with the improvement in the building of the program. So hopefully folks out in Roseville that are enjoying playing lacrosse and eyeballing Roseville High School as a destination, may you have a successful run, and let's see Bella Vista and Roseville in the near future battling it out for playoff spots.
Yeah,
so.
and honestly, that's the biggest hindrance here with Roseville, and you're exactly right. I mean, 6-7 this year overall, 4-7 in the league, and really you can see the growth. The biggest challenge when you look at the roster, you have 15 seniors, you only have 7 underclassmen coming back, and because there's not a JV program, then you start to wonder, that's it? So obviously you have people come out every year. So the hope would be that you would, with them continuing to build, that you would have more and more girls at Roseville High School that would say, I'll try that. Let me come out and try that, and to build it up to where you could have that JV team again and that feeder.
And I know that they have some really solid club and youth programs in Roseville.
Yep.
But you also are competing with the likes of Oakmont and West Park and other schools that are um, that are
In the
that
air, right.
in that area as well.
Yeah, and that's the hard part. I mean, when there's open enrollment, I don't know how Roseville Joint Unified works. Certainly for San Joaquin, or I'm sorry, not for San Joaquin, for San Juan Unified, there is open enrollment, and so there's kind of a dictation of where you get to be and where you get to start and all that. And if Roseville Joint has the same issue, if you're given the choice between Wood Creek and Roseville, you're probably going to opt for Wood Creek because of the program. So, but again, I think you were spot on, George, in saying, with growth comes more numbers. It's just natural, and you start to see that, and so hopefully that's the case here. Surprised they're not doing stick check yet.
Well, we're at 7 minutes, just under 8 minutes to go.
Yeah,
before
normally they'd be doing stick check, and
the game starts. Well, I see the referees, they're kind of walking down towards one side, so maybe we'll get that underway. Maybe
getting closer, yeah.
Maybe with the earlier start, it's a little bit more laid back tonight. That, yeah, I know we're supposed to start at 5:30, but if we start at 5:35, that's not such a big deal because the newspaper reporters will still be able to hit their deadlines tonight, right?
That's right, yeah. Well, I don't see the third referee yet. Now, I do know that Arbiter, the system that they use for referees, they indicate times and things, but there could be mistakes made there. And so, but probably not a mistake if two of the three are here. So hopefully that third official gets here sooner than later.
Well, and I know that they have different I guess they call it mechanics set up in case they do not have the third referee. You can still have the game with two referees. It's just easier with the three. So
well, and we see that with high school football, right? With the referee shortage, typically a high school football game has 5 officials. A lot of games happen to be officiated with 4 because there's just simply not enough officials. Although this football season we didn't have any Thursday night games, which was nice because that was all a product of not enough officials. So maybe COVID has been over long enough that people are feeling more comfortable getting out and about and helping out in the community, being an official.
It's also really important that everybody understand the importance of the officials.
Yes.
And the officials are everybody's favorite whipping boy or girl, if that, in that, you like to gripe about the call because you saw it differently. And everybody will complain that officials are biased towards one team or another, but if both sides are complaining that the officials are biased towards the other team, are they really? I mean, they're probably doing their job.
We were laughing last night at the game. They were really letting both sides be very, very physical. And early in the game, there was a play. It actually happened to Regan Silvers. And we were in the stands going, well, that's clearly a yellow card foul. And they didn't call it. And we were a little frustrated until a little bit later on, Julia Thomas delivered a blow on the other end. And that wasn't a yellow card either. And we went, okay, well, that's fine. As long as we're going to be fair, both ways. And so to your point, that bias, if it's going both ways, there's probably not a bias. It's probably just the way things are going.
And it's important that we recognize and we respect the officials.
Yes.
They put in the time to get the training, but they're human beings just like the rest of us. And so not everything is going to go according to plan.
Well, and there's a lot going on out here. I mean, there's 24 girls lacrosse players. And so with 24 over, 120 yards, because they use all the way to the end zone, the back line of the end zone on a football field, that is, and the field's wider, it's a lot of space to cover for 3 officials. It just is. So things are going to get missed. I think that's natural. We even saw in the game last night, Coach Hackman put his arms up, at the side like, hey, what was that? And the referee said, you're right. I missed it, though. I didn't see it, and so – acknowledgement that they're human, and there's no video replay here. There's no calling up to the booth in New York.
And, what do you do if you're the coach in that situation? If the referee admits it, you got to respect him for admitting
exactly.
it. But it is impossible to see everything.
It just is. There are – it's a natural thing. There's lots going on. What you hope is, the primary function is that the game is officiated correctly and that everybody stays safe. That's really the biggest thing. Here we go with stick check.
So we got a whistle here, and that means as we approach 4 minutes to go, that yes, indeed, it is just about time to get it started. So we will get stick check, and we'll get the crowd here. We'll get the introduction of the lineups. and the players. And then we're going to get this one underway here in just a few moments. Of course, we have the national anthem coming your way as well. So we are just about ready to get this underway. An earlier start than normal. Again, that was because it was supposed to be a doubleheader tonight with the boys, and then the boys' game was canceled. So the girls' game stayed at the prescribed time, and that's where we are. So.
And we might be running with 2 officials here because I still only see 2, and that's fine.
And it could very well be, again, with the early start. Of course, normally, in a normal circumstance, there would be a JV game and a varsity game. It could just very well be that that's who's available tonight.
Well, and
I would imagine that these officials probably have full-time jobs of their own.
Correct. And, I mean, to be fair, for a junior varsity game, there are only 2 officials. That's all they use. And then they use 3 for varsity. So, I mean, it could be as simple as the game could have been entered into the system as a junior varsity game, not a varsity game. So,
or because of the start time, it was assigned as
correct.
a JV game.
Assigned
because,
as yes,
because that's who's available at 5:30 as opposed to 7:15.
Correct.
So.
Either way, we're going to play some lacrosse. We got enough people here to make it happen.
Yes, indeed. So the captains are over there and discussing things right now. They're flipping a coin to decide who starts at which end of the field. And then we will have the players decide, or the players battle it out. I am looking at one of the players here, number 19, Jordan Haygood of Roseville. What do you think I'm noticing, Aaron, about her? She's got her back to us right now.
Oh, the green stick.
The green lacrosse stick. How about that?
I have not seen one of those. That's impressive.
So you know who has to have the guarding assignment of her.
Oh, it's Zia Martin, obviously.
Absolutely.
That's a must.
Absolutely, that's a must.
I am happy to see that Roseville's in black uniforms because those practice bibs they have on are white, and I thought, well, that's going to be a hard game to call with white on white, but they're in black, and Bella Vista will be in white. So
with the new uniforms for the Bella Vista boys team this year, they hadn't arrived by the start of the season, so their first home game against Davis, they actually wore the black.
Oh,
and
okay.
Davis wore the white. You can hear the crowd and the players down below us as each one is being introduced, and they're getting the sticks checked and everything like that. There is Casey Mosier that just got her stick checked and now moved on. Marilyn Morgan scored some goals the last couple of last
she
few
did.
games, so she's come on strong as well. So there's Kelly Olson that just got the clearance. There's one of the seniors right there, Kate Hooper.
Number 25, Presley Rocker Hooper.
They're watching them.
And really what they're checking here is to make sure that the cross on the end of the stick, that's where the term lacrosse comes from, the end there is called the cross, that the ball, basically that it fits the right way. It can't be too deep or too wide to gain an advantage. And so they check that, and if there's an issue, then they make them go correct it, kind of like a fix-it ticket. If you have a light out and get pulled over by a peace officer and you get a fix-it ticket, similar sort of situation.
Apparently the way they check the goalie's stick was a little different.
Yes.
They didn't put the ball in
No ball for the
big
goalie's stick.
fishnets for Story Horton and for Elsie Ballard. So, all right. Okay, and I just overheard Chris Silvers make another announcement for those of you that aren't here but might want to consider coming out. Not only is Kiki's here, but Handel's Ice Cream is here too.
See, so you can have dinner and dessert.
There you go.
Handel's is delicious for those not from this area. That's a great ice cream place.
So now the Roseville players are getting their sticks checked. They're just kind of wrapping it up right there. And so far, so good on their side.
I thought for a second the goalie there had blue jeans on, but I think
it's just the sweats. But yeah,
Yeah,
you're right. They do kind of look like.
it's the way the sun's hitting them. They're gray sweatpants, but they
Yeah.
look like blue jeans for a minute. I thought, well, that's difficult to play a lacrosse game in.
And their goalie dares to wear number 13, Gabby Carlson, Carlin, I should say, one of the seniors on this team. In fact, both number 13s are seniors.
That's right.
So, all right, so the players are going to take the field here with 12 minutes on the clock, and we're going to play lacrosse.
Finally.
Yes. We have not been having the national anthem at the girls' games, so I think that we're just going to go ahead
Go
and
right into it.
move forward here.
Well, and as much as it's fun to, chat about lacrosse and other things going on with BV Live Sports, it's fun to do what we're here to do, which is call a lacrosse game.
Yeah, and that's exactly it. It is time. It is time to play and time to get going.
Yep.
Okay, so Paige Hackman is standing in the center circle, 65% on the draws this year.
Here comes Roseville out finally.
So we'll be able to identify Jordan Haygood very easily.
Yep, that'll be easy with that green stick tonight.
I think we need to make sure that Zia Martin gets a green stick in time for next year.
I think that's a must. So, Kristen Martin, I know you go back and watch this broadcast from time to time. Zia needs a green stick, maybe a Christmas present, birthday present, something like that.
Yeah, just look at what Jordan Haygood, number 19, has.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you want.
Yeah, just connect with her maybe.
I'm sure she's got several. Is it not on? Okay, apparently there's something wrong with our score bug, folks. So we'll try and get that fixed. But we are underway here at Bella Vista High School on senior night for the Broncos. Bella Vista suffered their first loss of the season last night at Vista del Lago. They are 13-1, 11-1 in league play. This is a Capital Valley Conference game here tonight.
Settling and moving it around, which is what you would expect. Don't want to get over anxious to start here.
This is Silva, one of the seniors, and Paige Hackman. Ball deflected out. Broncos still have the possession. It's taking their time right now. Presley Rocker Hooper. That one deflects off the piping, and Roseville comes up with it. Chloe Pierce. Loose ball. Broncos pick this one up. Quickly back the other way. Isabella Hartman become a goal scorer of late. Thomas. Sitting on 56 for the season. Here's a swinging shot and a score for Julia Thomas. Julia Thomas, that's goal number 57 for the season. 115 for her career. And that comes with 10:25 to go in the opening quarter. Again, apologies on the score bug. Why it's not working, we're not exactly sure.
Well, and something that we have not seen in 3 or 4 games now is the Broncos score first. So also a good sign to get on the board first. Momentum is a real thing here, especially in high school sports, and minute and a half in being on the board and up already is a good sign.
So we will face it off at midfield. Broncos control this one again with Julia. Marilyn Morgan and Julia Thomas working the right side. Hackman out front. Hackman makes a move. She's in front. That one deflects away.
It's going to be Roseville ball at Hackman's stick when it came up. Inadvertently caught a Roseville player in the face.
The Tigers will make the move here. If you're just joining us, it is 1-0 Bella Vista in the first quarter. We will keep you updated. We're having a technical issue with the score bug.
I think that went out on Roseville, so Bella Vista is going to get the ball again on their half, or on the Roseville half, which is great. They are.
And the Broncos have the possession. Here's Regan Silvers. Silvers at 49 goals on the season. The next one's number 50 for the season and would be number 127 for her career. Paige Hackman! That's a nice save on the part of Gabby Carlin. And now she's looking for some help. And that one's going to go out of bounds. She's not able to save it. Oh, they actually said she did.
I don't know how. That ball was completely over the line.
Roseville gets a break there, and they're taking advantage of it. Macy Clifford being chased by Regan Silvers. Clifford weaves her way past Thomas. Nice movement by Clifford, and then it's like Regan Silvers was able to jar that one loose and take it away. Janeway on the move. Kenny Janeway can score. She's come all the way in. She's going to have an opportunity here. She's closed off. Ball is loose, and she will draw a shot from the 8-meter line.
First shot from the fan this game. Almost directly on. Should be a good opportunity.
So we're at 7:40 to go. Here's a shot saved by Carlin. Approaching 7:30 now to go in the opening quarter and a 1-0 Bella Vista lead.
What I notice already tonight is Bella Vista much more aggressive as they're bringing the ball up, trying to frustrate the Tigers.
This is Emerson Gutierrez that is ultimately comes up with the possession. Paige Hackman there running some interference and comes up with the ball. Forces the turnover, gets the ground ball. Marilyn Morgan. Morgan weaves her way through traffic. Is closed off on the left side. We'll bring this one back out. Silvers has her first opportunity. The whistle blows before the shot goes in, so Regan Silvers will get a shot from the 8-meter line.
And she should be almost completely heads up here, I would think, based on where that foul occurred. A little off to the right, it looks like.
Here's Silvers, and she scores anyway. Goal number 50 for the season for Regan Silvers, number 127 for her career, and the Broncos are now up 2-0 with 6:27 to go in the opening quarter.
Really, really good work by the Broncos, moving the ball around, and really good defense all the way back. This entire first quarter, I think the only defender, Paige Martin just had a play and dispossessed before Paige Hackman picked it up in an early game. Sadie Keogh had a play. Other than that, the ball has not even gotten to the defenders, which is a good sign of good team play.
Mackenzie Clements, number 33 for Roseville, is in the center circle to go against Paige Hackman on the draw here. Broncos control this one. That's Lauren Wan. Been really impressed with her this year.
She's been outstanding.
Poised to, here's Hackman. That one's a little too tall. But the Broncos will keep possession. Looking forward to seeing what Wan does next year in her senior year. She's got 9 goals already this year. You know, she'll have a bigger role. Obviously, Julia and Regan are back. Paige Hackman's one of the ones that will be graduating. Here's Janeway.
Yeah, some big shoes to fill for sure, but when both your leading scorers are coming back, that's a good thing.
And she probably will find more opportunities.
Correct.
Next year to score.
Yep.
Hackman off the screen. Hackman with an underhanded or a sidearm shot. That one goes in. Paige Hackman on her senior night finds the back of the net.
Always good to score on senior night.
5:31 to go in the opening quarter.
Substitutions being made for the Broncos. Would look to see that all night. A lot of rotation. A lot of getting players in, especially if the score continues to go this way in the Broncos' favor.
Broncos have been winning the draws and have pretty much dominated the possession. Pierce gets this one, and so Roseville's going to have a chance to set their offense. Taylor Alec. Got somebody out in front, can't handle it, and it winds up in the control of Elsie Ballard. Here's Julia. Broncos on the move. Or check that, that's Silva.
Silva has it, yeah.
You just expected that to be Julia.
Well, at the rate she was moving up the field, that very much seemed like Julia.
And speaking of Julia, she's got it right now, going up against Haygood. Zia Martin is in the game. Here's Julia, and she finds the net once again. So for Julia Thomas, that is goal number 58 on the season, which equals the number that she scored last year.
I didn't take long tonight.
No, that did not take long.
I mean, we were wondering if she would, well, maybe we weren't wondering, but we talked about if she would get there. And we're not even through the first quarter, and she's there.
4:31 to go in the opening quarter. It's 4-0 Bella Vista. Hackman. She's taken all the draws tonight so far. Of course, it's senior night, so it wouldn't be surprised that she will do that. Maybe Kate Hooper will get a few. Inside looking for Zia Martin. She comes up with it. Her shot's blocked. And it looks like the foul's going to go the other way. Correct? Yeah, so stay with...
Yeah, I think it was just a position of where they were leaving from, but it should be Roseville. Well, it was a illegal check.
I was pointing out that Zia Martin is in the game, but she was not guarding Haygood.
Yeah, we got to get that worked out. We got to get that communicated to Coach Hackman.
The important stuff, you
That's
know.
right.
This is Alec.
Oh, beautiful job by Julia Thomas.
And that's Julia doing her thing. Zia Martin going to try and chase this down. She does, and she'll pick it up. Martin on the move. A collision. That keeps going. Player's down, but Zia's on the move here. Are we going to stop with the player down here?
I don't think so.
Actually, no, we're going to get an 8-meter shot.
Yeah, and for those that saw that on I mean,
12.
If you saw that on a replay, yeah, it'll be from the 12-meter line, but that's illegal. I mean, the Roseville defender put herself in that compromising position. That's not on Zia at all.
Here's Martin, crossing pass inside. Couldn't find Paige Hackman, and Carlin comes up with it. All right, I am seeing the score bug on the screen now. How about that?
Right colors and everything.
Yeah. Well, we did set it up.
Yeah. Mackenzie Clements there just got basically guarded out of bounds, so she retains the ball, and we're back under play here.
Roseville to keep possession here.
Regan Silver's all over the Roseville player there. Addison Epsley.
Julia Thomas with another ground ball to add to her collection. Little collision, but she keeps possession. Whistle blows, but you keep playing.
They really want that crossing pass.
Well, it looks like maybe it's something they're working on tonight.
Mm-hmm. The mistake that's being made is they're trying to get it over the Roseville player's head, and so the passes are all a little high. They just got to trust if they pass it normally that it'll get there.
Roseville scoops that one up.
Yeah, this should be Bella Vista now. We'll get this. Emma Rowan to bring it in.
Maddie Bunsey is in the game, rocking the blue helmet and the orange and yellow two-tone shoes. Very fashionable. She deserves to score a goal with that arrangement. Kate Hooper. Now Silvers.
Short time here in the first quarter, 15 seconds.
Silvers gets free. Silvers in right out in front of the goal. Kick, save, and a beaut. No, did she score? No, she did. I thought I saw that deflect off, but that's a goal for Regan Silvers.
And interestingly enough, Bella Vista's first goal of the game last night was with 8 seconds left in the first quarter. They were down 4-0 at that point. With this goal, they go up 5-0 over Roseville.
That's the second for Regan Silvers, number 128 for her career, and number 51 on the season. And my eyes were playing tricks on me.
It's hard to see. We're used to it being dark.
Well, it's easier to actually pick them up. I don't need the binoculars as much.
Sure.
The natural light is better than the artificial light.
Well, and you have some lights burn out, it gets even harder to see.
Off the draw, Roseville wins this one.
They're going to keep it. Dangerous check.
Mackenzie Clements as the first quarter comes to an end here at Bella Vista High School. We are done with one, and it's all Bella Vista here tonight, looking to solidify the playoff spot that is on the line tonight for the Broncos. And 5 goals, 2 from Thomas, 2 from Silvers, and then Hackman is the only outlier, I guess, the one not named Thomas or Silvers that is scoring. And she's entitled. It's senior night.
It's senior night. She's allowed. Yeah, I mean, if you want to cement that playoff spot, the way to do it is to go up 5-0 over a conference foe, and they're certainly doing that, playing well in all aspects of the game. And I think, like we just mentioned, I think that crossing play, that crossing pass they're looking for, that'll come, and that's something that they're wanting to work on. And we've seen that throughout the season with different teams where they stay very disciplined and looking for a play until they can get it.
Grandma Deb and Grandpa Steve are here today, too.
That's
so
right.
She needs to keep scoring.
She needs to keep scoring. That's right.
So, the more goals, the better for Paige Hackman, who is headed to PLU up in the Tacoma, Washington area for her next step, going to play lacrosse and study nursing. And again, as we talk about some of these other players, Isabella Hartman is one of the players that is actually going to continue her athletic career. She'll play soccer at American River College while studying kinesiology. So we've got a couple that are doing the kinesiology. Paige Martin's going to be an ultrasound tech.
Very cool.
She hasn't decided on the school yet. Kate Huber is going to go into business administration, so she's going to make a career out of giving us the business. So, but she hasn't decided which school yet either.
Correct.
So in some cases, you just still have to find that right fit. And some have already made the decision to go to community colleges, and some may be looking at 4 years like Paige. Yeah.
Well, and I think the other thing, too, that most high school seniors don't realize is no matter where they're going to college and no matter if they're decided or not decided, they're all going to spend basically the first couple of years doing basically the same general ed requirements that everybody does. So they've got time to make that decision.
Indeed. And starting off at a local community college is not necessarily a bad thing.
No, it's a great way to do it. And in California, with it being free in most cases, it's a great way to start and get those first couple of years under your belt.
Bella Vista has representation headed to ARC, Sierra College, and also Folsom Lake College. So, so that's kind of cool as well.
Well, little tidbit that I know about Folsom Lake College. So they are part of Los Rios Community College District. That is the second largest community college district in the state of California, and they have 80,000 students enrolled either full or part-time there. So it's a massive organization. I don't think people, especially people not from California, necessarily realize how large these community college systems are.
And one of their professors is somebody named Julie Tharlson.
Oh, really?
Yes,
Oh, shout out to the senior producer here.
So take that foods and nutrition classes up at where it's offered.
I might have to go back to school now.
Roseville wins the draw to start the second quarter. Looking to find pay dirt, and this is Alice Campbell, number 21, who gives way to Alec. That's Taylor Alec. Roseville right now rather methodical on this possession. They just want to make sure they get the right shot here. What they don't want to do is get too crazy and turn it over. They want to take their time. Get one back now. Save L.C. Ballard. That one will go out of bounds. Roseville keeps possession at the 11-minute mark. Looks like we got the gremlins out of the system here. Everything seems to be working again.
Roseville just is frustrated. They can't seem to find a way so far tonight through the Bella Vista defense.
Macy Clifford looking for Alec inside. That's too tall for her. That one's going to roll out of bounds. That is a pass and not a shot, so Bella Vista will get possession. So Julia Thomas and Regan Silvers already 2 goals each tonight. Julia has equaled her goal total from last year, and her next one equals Regan Silver's goal total from her freshman year. Here's Isabella Hartman. Hartman, by the way, 2 goals on the season. We were here for her first. This is her first and only year playing lacrosse as a senior. Very impressive flag football player. Kate Hooper tries to split the double team. She'll draw the shot from the 8-meter line. Almost got free.
She was almost there. That was great. Nice little spin move.
She's right out in front. The senior, Kate Hooper, on senior night. Shot, save off the legs of Gabby Carlin. She'll feel that tomorrow morning. Silva. PRH. One of the seniors. Here's Kate Hooper. Janeway. Janeway with the spin. Janeway out front, looking for help. Hooper. Kate looking to drive. Silva behind the net. Curling the crease right here is Marilyn Morgan. She'll try to get it inside and draws the foul and a shot from the 8-meter line.
Well, and you might be wondering, like, well, what are they doing? They're just passing the ball kind of around in a circle. But what they're doing is they're trying to do one of two things. Either look for a missed matchup where they have a direct line to the goal, or draw the defenders out so someone can cut across on the inside unguarded, and they can look for that open shot.
Marilyn Morgan. She'll step right in. She'll take a shot. And that one is kicked out. And that's going to run out of bounds. Looks like Roseville was in position to get the possession. In position for possession. Love the alliteration. Here come the Tigers. Nice movement there. They just could not get the ball to Montana Speckman. That one's going to roll out of bounds and should go back over to Bella Vista. Looks like LC Ballard is rocking some highlighter yellow shoes.
Easy to spot.
Yes, indeed. And if they're easy to spot, they're going to be talked about. Janeway. And that number 7 is Lauren Wan, who has the possession right now. Hackman. Back to Wan. Wan, who's got kind of greenish shoes of her own. They're kind of more like aqua green. Hooper's pass is deflected. Still on the ground. Silva's there. Presley Rocker Hooper's there. And finally scooped up by Mackenzie Clemens. Kayla Agatep Contreras, number 14. The one right there trying to keep it for Roseville, but the Broncos take the possession as well.
Yeah, nice job by Casey Mosher to get that deflected, and up the field comes Sadie Keogh with it.
Keogh on the move. She's not afraid to shoot one, and she'll take one and score! Sadie Keogh would not be denied.
Nice little shot on target, and
with 5:52 to go in the second quarter. She's deceptively quick.
yeah, she's sneaky.
I think that's a good word.
Yeah, she's sneaky and quick, and she really has a good drive to be successful. So that's.
And I've heard her talk about how she likes the ground balls and disrupting the offense. That's her thing.
If she could play boys lacrosse, she would. Well, actually, she would like to play girls lacrosse, but with the boys' rules.
Ah, I gotcha.
So she could hit people.
Well, maybe they should play the boys-girls game under the boys' rules.
She would love that. She may be the only girl that wants to do that, but she would want to do that.
Hackman picks up the ground ball. Here's Silva. Silva's one of the seniors. Silva wants to be a radiology tech. Here's Juan. Kate Hooper on the right side. Back behind the net. And Carlin's there to get that.
Yeah, that was a good heads up.
Out of the crease. As long as she's out of the crease, she's just another player. Here's Alec. Silva looking to cut her off. Silva now gets out in front of her. Makes the contact. The whistle blows. Action continues. Pierce. Here's one of the underclassmen as we approach the 4-minute mark here in the second quarter. Bella Vista looking to bounce back from the defeat at Vista del Lago last night. Zia Martin on the move. Here comes Zia. She's got Presley Rocker Hooper on her left. Zia dodges to the right. And she'll take it back behind the net.
That's a good call. They were outnumbered there. It was 2-on-4. Let your offensive friends come down the field and now set up and look for the opening.
Here's Morgan. Silva now won. Martin once again. Martin and Presley Rocker Hooper behind the net. And Presley Rocker Hooper, that one is saved by Carlin. Hooper gets it back. You know, we're going to go from 2 Hoopers to no Hoopers next year on this team. We'll still have the Bunsey twins. And there will be a Paige on the team.
That's right.
As Paige Hatfield will come up. So at least some of the boxes will be checked next year.
That's right, yeah.
That goes to Roseville. You're right, Aaron. We are playing with just the 2 referees.
Doing a good job, though, with
Yeah.
fouls, and seems very fair both ways.
Part of the training is how do you ref the game with 2? How do you ref the game with 3? How do you ref the game with 1? Because sometimes, again, it just has to happen. There's lots of games going on. Kelly Olson and Marilyn Morgan. Morgan, double and triple teamed. Olson to help out. Martin will curl the crease, look to bring it in front. Good defense by Roseville to close her off. Maddie Bunsey. Roseville comes up with the loose ball. Regan Silvers.
Said, I don't think so.
You can get your ground ball, but you know what? I'm going to get one to Kelly Olson. Olson out front, shot, score!
Oh, good night.
That's Julia again. The hat trick on the assist from Kelly Olson. Julia Thomas, 59th goal of the season.
And I don't care who is in goal. No one is stopping that play. With the velocity that ball's coming out of Thomas's arm and her shot, that is a lethal combination.
Tell you what, if anybody ever breaks into the Thomas household, they don't need any kind of weaponry. They just need Julia taking a shot with a lacrosse stick.
Yeah, I would not want to. I would not want to be hit by Julie with a lacrosse stick. That is for sure.
I think that might be part of their security system.
It probably is. She's right back to it again.
Chloe Pierce comes up with it, and then the ball is forced out. Pierce's stick winds up on the ground. Roseville with possession. Tried to get that to Macy Clifford. I don't think she was expecting it.
No, and they're rushing, and when you rush, you make mistakes. And they had time. There's under a minute here, like 45 seconds now, but they had time to set something up.
So Ballard. There's Maisie Hess. Yeah, Hildebrand right there to help out. Julia comes up with it. Here's Juan. Juan tried to get it to Silvers. A little too tall, picked off by Roseville. Hildebrand trying to come up with that one as the second quarter comes to an end. And we are now at halftime. Again, Bella Vista, all the scoring so far. Julia Thomas, 3 goals on the night. She is now at 59 for the season, which ties what Regan Silvers did as a freshman 2 years ago. So this is pretty incredible. Regan's got 2 tonight, too.
Yeah, I mean, this is really quite the historic quite the historic group here we've got right now of young women playing lacrosse here, and the beauty of it is you get both of them back next year. Like we mentioned earlier, lots of holes to fill with some of the seniors that are leaving, but really, really good, solid group coming back next year.
And speaking of those seniors, and one of the holes to fill is going to be in goal.
Right.
Elsie Ballard, and they've got Story Wharton, who had last year played for the JV team and was called up and played some varsity games when Elsie wasn't available, but she's been on varsity this year, and she's gotten time this year to play at the varsity level.
Correct.
And has done pretty well. She's poised pretty much to step in next year, her senior year next year, to be at least the lead goalie next year, and she's getting some valuable experience this year at the varsity level.
Well, and I think to your point, I saw her suiting up. I think you're going to see her in goal in the second half, and probably see Coach Hackman and Coach Thomas have a little fun with Elsie Ballard up on attack, as they did in the game earlier this year, and let her really enjoy her senior night. So to your point, one of the best ways, I mean, you see this in all sport, one of the best ways to get your younger players the experience is to let them play at the biggest level. And so having Story in goal now, you have a comfortable lead 7-0. Let her see if she can finish that shutout game, and helps prepare for next year.
We've actually been watching it play out a little bit with the boys team this year. They the coaches actually kind of have a system. If there is someone that the varsity has kind of zeroed in on that they would like to play, then Coach Goldsmith will talk with Coach Glenn, who's the JV coach, and they will say, here's somebody we'd like to try.
Sure.
And they call them up for a couple of games. Leo Hansen has been in for Bella Vista the last few games, for example. Aaron Bryan is another one that's seen some action this year. And so it's kind of cool that they're doing that. It's certainly an option available as long as you're not gutting your JV team. And again, a game like tonight, obviously you need to focus on the seniors, but when there is no JV game,
right?
Yeah, I mean, you have that option as well if you wanted to take a look at some of those players. So that's another nice thing about how the system works. But yeah, we're looking at a lot of the seniors here that are going to be graduating. You made the point at the start of the broadcast that a lot of teams, they'll start their seniors on senior night.
Right.
And for Bella Vista, this group of seniors, they usually, if they're not starting, they're getting a lot of playing time.
Correct.
And Isabella Hardman is one of them. Outstanding flag football player.
Yep.
But she had not played lacrosse until this year. And this year, she's really come on, especially lately. She's really picked it up.
Right.
And it's probably one of those things where she's looking back saying, why didn't I do this earlier?
Well, I mean, and you can see with her playing soccer at American River College next year, I mean, clearly an athlete.
Yes.
Successful flag football seasons. She's having a great lacrosse season. And so, and you need pickups like that for successful teams. One of the things, we were talking about before we started playing, and kind of our extended pregame, was the goals for and against with Bella Vista compared to Vista Del Lago. One of the things Vista does not do is the rotation of players like Bella Vista does. Part of the downside to that rotation is you're going to give up a few more goals and you may not score as many goals. But the longevity and strength of your program, I believe, is better when you can do what the Broncos are doing for the future than the other way around. So I'm happy to score a few less goals and have a few more goals scored against. If it ends up being the deciding factor in the playoff, then it does. But I think the strength of the program overall is going to be better because of it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, the more home games you can get during the playoffs, the better.
Sure.
But still, what you're trying to build is you're trying to also build that long-term success.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what you were talking about, is maybe that rotation is sustainable for more long-term success. And, okay, if you wind up playing more playoff games on the road, if you win those games, you still advance. So,
Well, and I always look at, one of the hardest things to do in lacrosse, is the passing, especially when you're being guarded heavily. And so if you put some of these younger players in, first-year varsity players, in a situation where there's low pressure like tonight with a comfortable lead, if they don't make that reception and the ball falls, they're not panicking. They can, okay, let me get it back up, okay, and then they can focus. If you put them in a high-pressure situation, I think back to football this year when when Riley Dick got hurt, and suddenly Jack Singley's got to go right in the game,
right,
and the game is close. You don't have time to screw up. You don't have time to make mistakes because we need you right now. When you give players opportunities like this, that lessens the likelihood of that stress being there when it's needed.
Indeed, getting that experience when you can during the more lopsided games.
Yep.
Then when the injury happens, and you need them to go in, they're more comfortable. They've got their legs under them a little bit, I guess, if you will.
Yeah, I mean, you think about the draw, and you go, okay, so obviously Paige Hackman is the best player we have at the draw. Okay, if Paige suddenly can't play the rest of the game tonight, okay, fine, we'll put Kate Hooper in. Oh, fine, we'll put Julia Thomas in. Oh, fine, we'll put someone else. They have that bench strength, and it's not traditional bench strength where those aren't players in the game. No, they're in the game. They're just playing other positions.
It's interesting. Paige is winning about 65% of her draws, and she takes a lot of them.
Right.
And so when you take a lot of them, there's more of a likelihood that you will not get all of them,
Correct.
and so the percentage may not necessarily be as high as you take if you take a lower number. Julia Thomas, we've seen her take a lot of draws, but not anywhere near as what Paige Hackman does.
Correct.
Julia's she's taken a significant enough number of draws that the 85% win percentage is significant.
Yes,
but
very
still,
significant.
it's probably a good 1/4 or 1/3 of what Paige is doing.
Yep.
But Julia's been very successful on her draws as well.
Yes.
So if you have to put her in there because maybe Paige were to get hurt or get sick, you can be confident in what she can do.
Yeah, just the strength is incredible, and I really like what Coach Thomas and Coach Hackman are building here. And you have Coach York of the JV, Carlin York, that is implementing kind of that same strategy, and I think that's going to play dividends for years to come for the Broncos.
All right, well, we have heard the whistle, and that means it's time to get the third quarter underway, and it's only 6:12 in the evening. And I know it's already dark for those of you that are watching on the East Coast, but at least you're not having to stay up after 10.
Well, that's
right?
what I was thinking. My mom and dad watching. My mom's not having to stay up nearly as late as she normally would. The lights are on here in the stadium, but I don't know they're going to be needed. Maybe right at the end of the game. But at the rate of speed that this game's being played.
Well, and you might as well turn them on now. That way, if they do need to take effect near the end, we're not trying to get them to warm up when we need them. Have them on before you need them. Here's Julia and Paige. We need to have Paige Hackman and Paige Martin connect for a goal.
That would be fantastic.
One can assist, the other can score, and it doesn't matter how.
That's right.
Janeway in front, saved by Carlin. She's made some nice saves tonight.
She has. She's done a good job. She's certainly been under attack frequently tonight.
Alec can't control. Janeway comes up with it. Janeway right down the middle. We got a whistle. It's going to be 12 meter. Well, it's going to be 8 meter.
Square up.
And Danny takes the shot. It goes wide and out of bounds. Should be Bronco ball. A minute into the third quarter. Regan, 51 goals for the season. Looking for 52, and she's got it.
What a move. What a move.
The goal, number 12, Regan Silver.
That's with 10:31 to go in the third quarter. That is the third for the night. So Julia Thomas and Regan Silvers have combined for the sock trick.
Whew. At the rate they're going, they might each have a sock trick till we're done tonight.
We'll see if somebody gets a triple hattie, right?
Yeah, that'd be great.
We need Silvers to get a triple hattie +1.
+1, yeah, that's. You know, I know we mic Coach Hackman up after the game, but maybe we ought to start, putting an earpiece in during the game, and he could get some of our suggestions.
Yeah, like get Zia Martin on Jordan Haygood.
Yeah, I have a feeling after a while he may rip the piece out of his ear, though.
Yeah. What are these bozos talking
That's
about?
right.
Of course, Scott's done our job before.
That's true. He has.
He does the
That's
girls'
right, yeah.
basketball games with me.
Yeah. Multi-talented Scott Hackman is.
Indeed. So he can complain about the bozos now, and then next winter he'll be one of the bozos.
That's right, exactly. Funny how that works, isn't it?
Here's Silva. Silva. She'd like to score on senior night. Of course, this isn't it for Bella Vista. 2 more games. Morgan! Saved by Carlin. Morgan gets the rebound. Here's Silvers. Hooper's going to chase this one down.
Yeah, and they were looking for that crossing pass again, and it was just a little high. I feel like it comes down every time a little bit in height. If they can just get it a little lower, it's going to work.
That's a spin move by Kate Hooper. Reverses her field. She scores! Kate Hooper on senior night. That's her 7th of the season.
She wanted it, and she went and got it.
Indeed. That's a memory that you'll have forever.
All right, so now we're going to start having some fun. Your Paige and Paige wish might come true because Paige Martin is suddenly up on attack or is a midi. And I believe Danny Janeway is now playing defense. So, as is Regan Silvers. So your defenders right now are Julia Thomas, Regan Silvers, Sadie Keogh, and Danny Janeway. That's quite the flip.
Izzy Hardman is in the game. And she's going up against Chloe Pierce. There's the whistle for the contact. Continues. Here comes Pierce. That aforementioned defense of unit doing its job as Julia Thomas forces the ball loose. Hardman comes up with it. On the move, Silva. And now here's Paige Martin. Martin, she's going to get in front. She's going to take a backhanded shot and then a scoop shot.
Well, she wanted it.
Well, why not? She's only got one goal this year. She needs another one on senior night. This ball right in front of the goal. Broncos looks like they should scoop this one up. It's Presley Rocker Hooper. She needs to get a goal tonight, too, so that we can have the Hooper contingent.
That's right.
Find the back of the net. Kate's done her job. Silva. PRH.
When I see down on the sideline, Elsie Ballard is dressed, ready to go in on attack and not back in at goal.
So we haven't even really seen the action down at the other end to point out Story
Ward's
Wharton
a goal. Yeah, that's right. It's a good point.
Here's Hardman. Hardman gets free, gets around some defenders. She'll take a shot. And Carlin equal to the task once again. Again, I'm really impressed with her.
She's doing a great job. She really is.
Certainly 9 have gotten by, but that's, you got to look at the quality of competition you're facing, too.
Well, the number of shots.
Yeah.
I mean, her save percentage is actually not that bad, given the number of shots on goal.
Paige Martin. She has Paige Hackman out there. Paige Martin. Oh, that's off the piping. Right to Paige Hackman. And a whistle. Was she contacted? I guess she was.
So this is Paige Hackman now that's going to get the shot.
Hackman will get the shot from the 8-meter line. I didn't realize she was fouled. Hackman shot. Save Carlin. That's going to go out of bounds. Who are they going to say is closer? Looks like Bella Vista's going to keep it. Broncos are scooping up one of the loose balls. Marilyn Morgan's going to bring it in.
I think she's got to bring it in from the side there.
She does,
okay.
yeah.
All right, there we go.
Here's Morgan. Kate Hooper scored once already tonight. Paige Martin. 5.5 and change in the third quarter. Right out in front looking for Kate Hooper in traffic.
But that was better. That was on the mark. It hit a defender, and that's okay.
Well, and you give Roseville's defense credit there.
Yeah.
Here's Clifford. Emerson Gutierrez. Ball picked up. There's a shot, and Story Wharton with the save.
And that was a big save by Story because they caught the defense sleeping there. A little bit with the shift in the positions, that's to be expected.
4-1, and now Emma Rowan. Rowan on the move. Has Kelly Olson in front of her. Rowan being forced to the sideline, reverses her field. Now we'll look to angle her way around. Broncos keep it. Hardman.
That ought to be Bronco ball there. Well, what I love there is as Emma was coming up the field, I heard her yell at a less experienced player, hey, so-and-so, turn around, right? And that's the best way to teach is live in the moment.
Yeah.
Well, we lost our Thomas Silver's contingent on defense. They're out now.
Well, you also don't want him to get hurt.
No.
Here's Rowan. Rowan out front. Morgan. And Harlan again with a save.
Yep, just needed a little more velocity on that shot. I think it would have gone in.
Clements, far side for Roseville.
Second stick lost tonight by the Tigers.
And that will stay with their possession. And they'll call that one on Zia Martin.
I think, I mean, fine to call the foul, but I think the Roseville player actually just tangled in her own feet.
Yeah.
I don't think Zia touched her very hard, but maybe.
Here's Clements. Clifford, I should say. That one looks like that might go out of bounds. It's like, oh, they're going to give that to Bella Vista. Looked like Regan might have gotten her stick on it.
Yep.
Regan on the move. Boy, that's that effortless glide that we've been watching all year. It is just so much fun watching both of those players, Thomas and Silvers. And Regan scores! It's the fourth tonight for Regan Silvers with 2:37 at the 2:37 mark.
And now the clock's just going to run because we're up by 10, so running clock in varsity lacrosse if there's a 10-point differential. And we're having fun on the sideline. We just had a bowling experience. All the pins got knocked down for 10 goals.
Were the players the pins?
The players were the pins. There weren't 10 of them, but they were in a bowling pin formation there.
There you go. So Regan Silvers, 53 goals on the season, 6 shy of her season high 59, which she set as a freshman 2 years ago.
And still games to play, plus
Yes.
playoff games. So never say never, but looking increasingly like Bella Vista is going to lock that playoff spot up.
Well, all they need is the win to secure at least second place. Morgan, and she scores!
Another senior.
Marilyn Morgan, another senior on the board, 6th goal of the season.
What I love about the sideline here is that most of the players now, they're sitting on the bench. They're physically getting up to go do these cheers and then go sit down. Like that, there's actually effort being put into the cheer. Like they just don't quit in any aspect.
Well, you love to see the energy, and you love to see the camaraderie, if you will.
Yes.
What you want is, everybody has their own personality. And it is hit and miss sometimes as to whether the personalities on a particular team will completely mesh with each other. Not everybody's going to get along with everybody else, but it really looks like, at very least, that when they are in team mode, everybody's getting along. And I'm not saying that they're not otherwise,
Sure.
by any stretch of the imagination, but I'm just saying they're just doing it right.
Right? No, they are. This is how you have a winning team.
And it's a good lesson to learn as you get into the professional world, because you're going to work with different personalities and adjusting to those personalities and how to work with them is really important. But this is a team that really seems to like each other and get along.
Very
Here's
true.
Lauren Wan. As the third quarter comes to an end, again, it's the Bella Vista Broncos goal onslaught, I guess, if you will. 11 so far.
Well, famous musician Buck Owens said, "I have a tiger by the tail." It's plain to see, and certainly the Broncos have the Tigers tonight by the tail. Just excellent play all the way around. Selfless play, like we've talked about all year. It literally does not matter if you put defenders on offense or in attack. If you put attack and defense, move the middies around, they just seem to gel and work together.
And it is really, really cool to see because, and we talked about it a lot, you may need that at some point, especially in the playoffs when you've got that tougher competition. You may need somebody to do something they're not used to doing,
right,
to be the difference in a particular game.
Well, and you see this a lot. A defender will get the ball and they'll bring the ball up. Well, if they bring the ball up and now they're on attack, an attack or a midi have to go back on defense because you can't be overloaded on attack, per the rules. So even in just those little moments, you have to be able, okay, now I got to switch. Now I'm on defense when I'm normally on attack or whatever. So being able to actually practice it in more of a game setting where no, you're just on attack now is a great thing.
All right, so the Lady Broncos of Bella Vista, after tonight, they are off during spring break. And then 2 more games following this one. They will be at Oakmont on April 21st, and so they won't be able to be out here to celebrate senior night with the boys.
Nope.
And then they will close it out with a non-league game against Folsom. So the win over Roseville tonight and the win over Oakmont will close out the league schedule. And ideally for Bella Vista, that would close them out at 1 loss,
right,
which would secure a tie of the league title,
championship. Yep.
with Vista del Lago. And so that is something to watch, keep your eyes on. And then that game at Folsom, that's an important one as well. It's not a league game, but it's a good one as you get ready to get that momentum going into the playoffs.
Yeah, it is. And Folsom is good in pretty much every sport. They do have the uniqueness of having the blue field, which can kind of throw you off. So they're going to have to be ready to go. Vista del Lago beat Folsom, I believe it was last week, by 6. So definitely a good, solid team. And Bella Vista will have to be ready to go here as we get ready for the 4th.
Julia Thomas's brother Joe had a big moment on that Folsom field in his junior year. That was a year that Bella Vista, as Paige Hackman gets this one, I'll finish the story when we get a chance, but Hackman is on the move. Hackman, she'll take a shot. She scores again.
Hat trick for her, right?
I think that's
2.
just the second.
Just the 2.
But Grandma Deb and Grandpa Steve are going to celebrate that
Yeah,
one.
they are. Well, and we should point out that attack for the Broncos to start the 4th quarter here, Paige Martin, Elsie Ballard, Marilyn Morgan, and I believe Liv Silva, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe Danny Janeway. I got to see if that's an 8 or a 9. No, 9. So Olivia Silva. That's your offense. So your goalkeeper and one of your defense players, and they're right in the middle on attack now.
So I'm going to give you a little trick on identifying, differentiating between the 9 and the 8, because from our distance it does look.
Yeah.
Remember that Liv has the turquoise shoes.
Oh, yeah. Okay. See,
That's why you got to pay attention to the
shoes. Yeah, that's a good point.
Here's Kate Hooper. On the move, that's Hardman. She'll draw a foul. So I was talking about Joe Thomas as a junior. Bella Vista was invited at the end of the season to play in like a mini 4-team consolation postseason tournament. It wasn't the actual playoffs.
Uh-huh.
The first round of games were played at Folsom, and Bella Vista drew Folsom in the nightcap of that doubleheader. Del Oro, and here's a shot from Hardman that goes wide. Del Oro and Rio Americano were the other 2 teams. They played first at Folsom, and then BV played Folsom. Game goes overtime, and Joe Thomas scores the winning goal on the blue turf.
Oh, that's awesome.
And so the Broncos then, the second round was played at Rio, and the Broncos beat Rio and wound up winning that mini bracket.
when I see we've got Presley Rocker Hooper on defense now too. The other thing this does that we didn't mention is it gives you an appreciation for what the other players on the team have to do.
Correct.
You know, you obviously think your position is the hardest position to play until you play somebody else's, so it's another benefit.
By the way, one more goal for Hackman will be her 20th. She is at 19 on the season. Be kind of cool if maybe she could do that at senior night.
Double
Roseville.
foul.
This will go Bella Vista's way. It looks like. They were pointing Bella Vista, but it looks like Roseville's going to keep it. This is Pierce. She draws the foul and a shot from the 8-meter line. Roseville hasn't had too many of these tonight.
No, that was a smart play, though. I mean, when you accelerate between two defenders quickly, odds are you're going to draw double sticks there and draw the foul.
Angle right for Chloe Pierce. She'll take the shot. Story deflects it away. So we are under 9 minutes to go in the fourth quarter and for the regular season home schedule for Bella Vista.
And a reminder to those watching, it's a running clock now because of the score differential.
Broncos are going to scoop this one up. Here's Morgan. Morgan's found pay dirt tonight.
Elsie wanted to score and was willing to just break that up.
Well, she's already got one this season. In fact, both she and Story have scored. Here's Silva. Kate Hooper. Broncos taking their time on the perimeter. Hardman.
Just what's so impressive is that if you didn't know what positions the players did, that we do, you would not know that you've got two key defense players playing on attack right now. They're in the right positions. It just.
Here's Ballard. Digs this one up. Working with the regular lacrosse stick has to be a little bit of a challenge for her.
Well, and that looked like a ballet move there she did. That was graceful, even though she lost the ball.
Well, you never know what any of these players might have done in their younger years.
It's true. And she's got the ball again.
And they could have taken dance. Ballard scoops it back up. Everybody's cheering for Elsie Ballard to score. Paige Martin. Martin gets free. Martin gets around. She'll roll down, swing it back out in front. And it's Ballard once again. Hardman has it. I think they're actually trying to get Ballard a goal.
Yeah, they are.
Hardman on the move. She's dispossessed. Roseville comes up with it. We get a whistle.
Yeah, I think we're going to get a foul. 8-meter shot here. But again, that latest score attempt was Paige Martin passing to Elsie Ballard. Like, they know how to run the offense even if they're on defense. It's such a great team this year.
12-meter shot for Izzy Hardman. To Ballard. And you know what, Ballard, she's used to, having to use that body sometimes to get possession of the ball.
Yeah, she's not afraid to be physical at all.
Ballard in possession. But again, she's also used to that bigger net.
Mm-hmm.
Haygood has the defense on her. Ballard trying not to be distracted by the green stick. Martin, she'll take a shot.
It's a good shot. It just missed.
Holy moly, what a goalie. That's what they said at the Roseville bench. Carlin coming up big there.
One could call this a light atmosphere.
Yes, indeed. Hardman. Martin on the move. She'll try again. Loose ball.
Third time's a charm here, Paige.
Right out in front.
Oh,
Goalie to goalie. And then Elsie just standing there at the stick because she's tall too.
she knows exactly what to do there.
Yep. Paige Martin. Paige Hackman back in the game. So there's the Paige to Paige.
And this is smart by Coach Hackman. If you put some of your starting mid-attack in there, that's going to call the defense to them a little bit more and hopefully open up an LC Ballard or a Paige Martin at a goal opportunity here with 4 minutes left in the game.
So are we going to be on page 16 or page 6?
Either way, it's quite the story.
And she's in goal.
Oh, that's right. Who's on first? Oh, this is too much fun, George.
Yeah, it is.
It's too much fun.
So Roseville with possession now. Clifford. Macy Clifford's one of the seniors. Macy Clifford's going to have an opportunity. She scores. That's a nice run by Macy Clifford. And the shutout is gone.
Yeah, and, that was not really on the goalie as much as it was. There was no defense back there. Poor Casey Mosher was back there kind of by herself with what seemed like a group of Tigers coming ferociously down the field. So she picks up one, but there's still a whole bunch that are open. And between her and Story, that was a hard shot to defend.
All right, so the draw at midfield. That was Hackman and Clements on the draw. Bella Vista controls. This is Hardman. Ballard. Ballard right through the double team. Good defense by Clements to jar it loose. I'll get the call now on Ballard.
As we approach 2 minutes now left.
That pass is deflected right to Paige Martin.
Yep, Paige Martin's got it now.
Martin on the move. Out front. Carlin's right there.
They're trying to get that defensive connection between Martin and Ballard set up, and it's almost hitting and just coming up a little short.
Kate Hooper controls. Hooper out front to Ballard once again. Tries to get through the triple team. Is Ballard going to get a shot from the 8-meter line? Or is this going the other way?
Going Roseville, but I really feel like
well, here's Clifford again. Just scored a moment ago. She's going to get another look here. But she's closed off. Maybe not confident with her left-handed shot.
yeah, the defense is back well on this one, so
Gutierrez. Well, we are down to the final 22 seconds of the home schedule for Bella Vista. Shot from the 8-meter line. This is Gutierrez, and she scores. And with that, the clock is probably going to run out.
Yep. That's going to be all she wrote.
And there it is, the final score on senior night here for this one. It is a 12-2 Bella Vista win on senior night. And with that win, Bella Vista has clinched at least second place in the Capital Valley Conference, which also clinches a playoff spot. So how about that? Both the boys and the girls are headed to the playoffs in 2025.
Quite the accomplishment for both of these programs, and kudos to all the players and coaches and, even the parents that help get these kids where they need to be. And, it's a really good all the way around. So shaking of hands here, and sooner than later we'll be getting ready here for the customary shaking of the sticks, as it is.
And get that all squared away. In fact, there it is. Listen to that sound. Isn't that great?
I feel like the coaches should be given a stick to go through, because it seems odd. They're trying to shake hands, but they've got sticks, and, it's just kind of a...
That's a great sound, isn't it?
Yeah, it's great.
So,
and to be on the winning side of that so many times this year, all but one now.
yes.
Quite the accomplishment.
So the Broncos improved to 14-1 on the season, 12-1 in league play. One more league game left on the 21st at Oakmont, and should there be a win there, then a 13-1 league schedule, a league record, which we presume will equal what Vista Del Lago does.
Correct.
Vista Del Lago has not played as many league games just yet. They won 10-1 after last night, so they've got a little catching up to do in that respect. But we know Vista Del Lago, we respect Vista Del Lago, and we know what they can do.
Yeah, I mean, they've got 5 losses on the season, but the only one in league play, and the other 4, one was a forfeit, but the other 3 are to very good teams outside the area, outside the Sacramento area. So, or close to outside the area. So, looks like Coach Hackman is already getting set up here.
All right, and of course we know he knows what to do here.
Yeah, he's a pro at this point.
He certainly is.
Although he's only been able to do this on the winning side. He's never had to do this in the face of defeat. So, we might get a very different Coach Hackman in defeat. I don't know.
Well, let's not talk about last night, huh, Scott?
Last night is what made tonight great, man. I mean, these seniors, I just can't express in words how amazing this group has been of 8. I care about each of them just as much as my daughter, right? And I love my daughter very much.
Oh.
And I pray, I say that they played so great today. And Roseville, 15 seniors, played like champs as well. Couldn't have asked for a better opponent. We got a lot of great, position play that normally we wouldn't get. A lot of great family are here cheering them on. Nothing better. It's a good night to be a Bronco, my friends.
Well, and certainly it got the usual suspects got to go in early for you, the likes of Thomas, Silvers. Your daughter Paige had 2 goals tonight on her senior night, so that's really special. It's always great to come up big on senior night.
For sure, and especially on Spirit Week, we have a lot going on at this school. More tomorrow. Every girl stepped up tonight, and the class was there. Definitely classy to Roseville. Roseville kept going the whole time. Our girls kept going. And I got to say, you're right. Regan had some good goals. Julia, Paige. I have to look at the stats. I'm sorry, fellas, I don't have them in front of me, but because after the game we were just talking all about seniors and what they meant to us as a group. But I know the stats were really well spread out, and everybody was involved in every situation you can imagine. So I'm proud of all of them, top to bottom on our squad.
You had a chance to move some defenders up to attack a little bit later on, and move some attackers back and give them some experience on defense. And we really loved watching Elsie Ballard try to get a goal there. At the
Oh
end.
yeah, the heart too, right? Like she was freed from not being increased any longer and just ran like the wind. I was so proud of Elsie. Great idea for her to get some field time in there. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just really thinking about tonight and how much this program means to me, and how every kid means so much to us. So I'm sorry I wasn't. I'm not focused on exactly the details of the game, but I know my coaching staff stepped up too. Coach Carlin, huge kudos to them. Coach Carlin and Coach Aaron. It was so much smoother tonight having Aaron back and Carlin locked in like she was. JV was here helping out. It was a full program effort, I got to say, and we care about this program very much. And the sky's the limit with this program. We have a lot of fantastic JV program and a lot of kids coming through, a lot of great juniors. We got obviously Julia Thomas coming back, and we got some great JV players that are going to be great too. But yeah, we're looking for playoffs. I mean, I really want to get playoffs. I want to keep this train rolling.
Well, and it will roll. You have clinched no worse than second place, and you've clinched a playoff spot. So with the win tonight. So congratulations.
Nice.
So
yeah, no, I'm proud of them. It's a full season. It's a fast season though, if you think about it. 2 months.
it is.
A lot of games. These girls kept with their fitness. They kept with their hydration, and kudos to them. I just kind of point them in the right direction, honestly.
And they've stayed together. We were noticing like the cheering that was going on the bench for the players that weren't in the game, and just encouraging those that were in the game to do their thing. And it's just really, really neat to see how this team kind of embodies the team concept really across the board.
Absolutely, team concept for sure. School concept. They're all very proud of their school. They do a lot for Spirit Week this week, and a lot of fun at the rallies. It's a great group. There's challenges every year, though. There's challenges that we have to deal with, and I think every kid stepped up and definitely pushed forward. We're always about next game up, right? So our next game is Oakmont, and then Folsom after that, which will be a great night too. But yeah, we got to get ready for Oakmont starting on Tuesday. Got a little break, start on Tuesday.
So what's the plan for next week with spring break? No games.
Right.
Want to give the kids, I would imagine, a little bit of a break, but
We are.
but you gotta keep the practices going at some point as well, right?
For sure. Same practice time. I'm a big fan of practicing the same time you play. So same practice time next week. We're gonna have a few days off here though, and come back Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Fridays off. So these girls will get the rest. We'll do some fun practice activities next week too. It's a good team building week, I gotta say. Spring break's a good team building week, and not like we need it, but it never hurts.
Well, Coach, I would just tell you that I know you said that you weren't as focused on the stats tonight, but you're focused on the exact same thing as having a daughter in the program and talking to these other girls. The reason they like playing for you and your staff is because of the way that you are. So kudos to you guys. I know they go out and do the playing, but there's a lot that goes on, I know, behind the scenes to get them prepared.
For sure. Yeah, that means a lot coming from you, both of you. Can't say enough. Thank you all year. This is our last home game. I guess I need to sign it off with how much we also care about you guys and all that you've done for us. It's an amazing feature that you put in hours and hours. I can see there running the mic, the man on the mic. So you guys do so much for us, and we owe you. And Zoe does the clock, and everybody's just fantastic. But back to you guys. Couldn't do any of this without you. We do it for the teachers. Go BV.
All right. Well, Scott, congratulations. Congratulations on clinching the playoff spot. Congratulations on the win tonight, and for your daughter's successful career here at Bella Vista as well.
Thanks. Go Lutes too next year.
Yeah,
Let's go.
Lutes. Absolutely. All right. That's Scott Hackman, the head coach of the Bella Vista Broncos, and boy, he really has built quite a program here.
Yeah, and you can tell by the emotion in his voice how passionate he is about these players. And really, I mean, what more could you want? I mean, and again, I'm selfish. I have a player in the program, but for any parent that has a player in the program or that just is involved, it's easier to get parents to volunteer and to help when you have somebody that's so passionately involved with these student athletes with their successes as good people and good human beings. So just really happy for him and for the year that he's had. For any coach, when you have this much success, is really just a lot of fun.
Well, this is our final girls broadcast of the season. Now, we're going to see them one more time.
We are.
And then that is going to be when they play the boys, because we do that game every year.
That's
and,
right.
We'll get you and Houseworth both in here.
That'll be
and
fun.
like we did last year. And we just don't know when that's going to be because we got to get through the playoffs first.
Yeah, we'll have to do it after the playoffs because we'll have to see how, luckily, we do have a kind of a defined end because the playoffs are short because of how they do them. But, yeah, it will probably be mid-May till we get that in.
And that is perfectly fine with us. I think
amen.
Let's let them go through the playoffs and see how all of that plays out. So
Yep.
A big thanks to Marlo Mosher for her work all year producing and running camera, for Julie Tharlson, for Charlie Keogh. Yeah,
Yeah, he got in
helped
there,
us,
that's right.
He helped us out a little bit. And Aaron, it's always a pleasure working with you.
Oh, it's great. This is so much fun, George.
It is. We'll certainly be back for the game between the boys and the girls.
Yep.
And then we will, of course, also connect for the football season as well. New
That's
era
right.
of football.
New era.
So
Yeah,
that's gonna
Coach Ott and the Broncos.
It would be great to see what happens with the future there. There's a look at the Bella Vista Broncos and various family members and everyone that has come out to see them, and they're celebrating the victory, and it's still daylight. How about that?
That's
so
awesome.
There's one of the benefits for the early start.
That's right.
That we have is this one is ending just before 7 o'clock. Well, thank you very much for joining us all season long. Just a quick reminder, we do have one more boys game to bring you. That is a week from this Monday, April 21st, right here at Bella Vista. It is senior night for the boys. They will be taking on Wood Creek. That is their penultimate game for the season, as they will then travel to Vista del Lago later on that week to close out the season. But it is the final home game. We'll get it underway right after the JV game ends, probably right around 7 o'clock, as it says on the screen. The start time for the game is listed at 7:15, but we have a JV game, we have senior night, and then we have the game, so probably a little bit later on than usual. And, of course, we will be eyeballing the girls' game that night at Oakmont because the win of the girls that night against Oakmont and Roseville would clinch at least a share of the Capital Valley Conference title. So lots going on still here at Bella Vista High School, even though the season is winding down. Thank you very much for joining us. Bella Vista wins this one 12-2. For Aaron Keogh, I'm George Tharlson. Have a great night, everyone.